Do you want to turn your print business into a well-oiled, finely tuned machine? Well, in this short video, I'm going to guide you through the process. Here's what you'll need. A large can of oil, a smaller can of very old looking oil, a huge spanner, which quite frankly I have no idea what you would do with, a hammer, screwdriver, and also...
No, you've misunderstood. You don't need any of that.
I don't?
No.
Well, what do I need?
If you want to turn your print business into a well-oiled, finely tuned machine, then you need to systemize your company. Find out exactly how to do that and the benefits that systems will bring to you, your employees and customers by watching the Systematization show coming up next on Thurston TV.
Hello and welcome to the Systematization Show, the on-demand TV show for print executives looking to get rid of bottlenecks, eliminate errors and turn their business into a well-oiled machine. Throughout this show, I'm going to be joined by my colleague Ross Edwards. Welcome, Ross.
Hello. Thanks for having me here.
Ross is one of our customer partnership managers here at Thurston and also a host of the Inspire podcast about software technology in print. Ross spends his day talking to print businesses about how they can use MIS software to optimise processes and systemize their business. Ross, welcome to the show and it's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's good to be here, thank you.
I'm also joined today by a very special guest, Philip Bauer, who's the founder and president of System 100 Software and former founder and president of Bauer Printing. Philip is a business systems analyst, consultant and weekly contributing writer for PR World for his blog Systemic Success. He's also the author of this book, System Busters, How to Stop Them in Your Business, and it's aimed at business owners who want to know exactly how to systemize their business. It's got loads of great stories from Philip's own experience of systemizing the print business that he ran. So he's a very well qualified guest to have on the show. Philip, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's get started with our first episode of the show, which is going to delve into the concept of systemization, the benefits of systems for business owners, customers and employees. And we're going to talk about why people decide to systemize their business in the first place. Okay, so Philip, can you start us off by explaining a little bit about the concept of systemization?
The definition of a system is a group of interacting, interrelated actions. Of course, what we're going to be discussing is a network of interacting, written procedures, policies, and other related documents that map a system of operations. And we'll put all that into an operations manual.
Okay. Ross, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, Philip's got a great kind of definition of what a system is there. And it's just about bringing together a series of operations and processes and you know, using technology to do that can be a great way to do it as well, to kind of put your... standardize your business and I guess ultimately to be able to try and scale it up, and that's something that I speak to lots of businesses about and get really passionate about different ways that you can do that and approach it.
So your role is to help printing companies to use technology in their business. So where does systemization come in it for you? How did you first get introduced to the concept?
Yeah, I mean, a management information system, you know, it is just that. It is a system really that is, I guess, really as over the years has become a methodology for a business as well. Starting from the very front end of sales and marketing through to how, you know, quotation, through to job management, inventory, purchasing processes, how, you know, scheduling tools, and all the way through to shipping and invoicing and finance. And ultimately that what that gives you is a bank of management information that you can then use for analysis and looking at patterns and trends and helping to forecast your business. But underneath all of that is a series of systems that is driving that and connecting your whole business together from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Philip? So how did you first come upon this concept of systemization? Was it when you were running your own printing company?
Well, we started out around in the 90s, early 90s, and just like every small business owner, you're having these same frustrations every day. And after about 4 or 5 years, you start going what I call you burn out. You start burning out. And so a friend of mine, how I came about knowing about system was from the book, The E-Myth.
Yeah, great book.
I read The E-Myth, and although it didn't tell you step by step how to systemize a business, it gave the overall concept of it. In reading that, I realized that without a doubt, I could systemize our commercial printing company. Now, it took a long time, but with that knowledge, I just started step by step systemizing our business.
You know what, Philip? I think just to add to that, so on my journey of thinking how can I help businesses with that process, and the E-Myth was a book that I got introduced to, which is, you know, you're absolutely right. It gives the broad stroke concept of, I guess, really how you can work on your business rather than in your business. And it was a really good book, and I thought there was some great examples in there. But then when we came across your book, that to me was the golden ticket, because what you've done is you've took that principle and then you've made it very specific for the printing, and you know, for a printing business, a printing industry, and it kind of developed it further. You know, I guess you took inspiration from that, but then you made it your own. And what I love about it is that in there you've lived and breathed it, and there's lots of examples of how you've took a printing business and systemized all different areas of that, with some great practical tips of how to do that as well.
And so I believe the end goal of all this is to turn your business into a turnkey business, which is a phrase that I've read in both your book and Gerber's book. So could we explain just a little bit about what that is? Philip, what is a turnkey business?
Yeah, a turnkey business is simply organizing and systemizing a business from the front to the back, from the beginning to the end. And that term came up. See, if you can turnkey a business, when you go to sell a business, it's like you hand the new owner the key. All they have to do is turn the key in the front door, walk in, and everything will run. Everything will operate. They know how to operate it. They have the manual for operation.
And I think that's one of the things, isn't it? It's about when I talk to businesses, I always think, you know, I like to talk to them about what is your end goal, what is your exit strategy, and that might be to sell the business, it might be to pass that business on to family, or it might be to bring in a new management team and sit back and retire while somebody else runs it for you. You know, lots of different exits, but and this is why the systems is probably quite important, because you want that business not to be dependent on you. So if you sell that business and it's really dependent upon you, then you've got to still be part of that business, haven't you? Or the value of that business will be a lot lower than if it's systemized and it's just something you can hand over, like you say, and it continues to run as it was when you were there or not there.
Well, and can I tell a quick story about
Please do,
that?
yeah.
Okay, I had one of my clients. It wasn't a printing business; it was a restoration business. But I can tell you, their systems are just as complex as the printing industry.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I would ever say that. I didn't think anything was more complicated than the printing business. But anyway, this guy, he was a customer for about 3 or 4 years, and he was like a dog on a bone. I mean, he was relentless, and he systemized that company. And of course, we helped him, and he systemized that company from front to back. And he was getting to an age, his son didn't want to take it over, so he decided to put it up for sale. Well, let me tell you, a company that bought 3 different restoration companies, they bought 3 different ones. he got twice the price that the other two, and they were all doing about the same amount of business, but he got twice what they got when he sold the business. Twice. He doubled it. And you know, when the new owners told him why they gave him twice, and here's what they told him. He says it was because of that system stuff. That's what he called it. Just that system stuff.
Yeah.
It was, and the other good thing about that, he was contracted to stay there a whole year. Well, guess what? Because of the systems, after a month, they said, Kent, hey, you can leave. We don't need you. It's operating.
What are the other benefits of systemizing the business, other than this, enterprise value?
So, if I can jump in there with one of the things that I've noticed, I'm sure you've got lots of things as well, Philip. But for me, there's a real benefit for the employees, because when you have a system in process, there's clarity of what the processes are, what you're expecting of them, and what they need to do. It helps them to make decisions. It empowers them to make decisions because they know what the vision is. They know what the systems and the processes are. So, which ultimately then reduces in errors, and helps for employee engagement. It helps for employee retention. So I think that's one of the other benefits to it. It's not just about, can I sell my business and the exit strategy, but also about what you can give your employees. What would you say, Philip?
Well, I agree with that. And also for the employees, what I found when we were systemizing our business and things started coming into order, I call it a symphony of order. The stress level, the bickering that can happen when there's a lot of tension in a printing company, when there's rush jobs coming, the culture of peace came upon our business. It was very peaceful atmosphere. And I can tell you there was 2 or 3 times that I had confirmation from my own employees. They would come into matter of fact, our bookkeeper at the time walked into my office one day after about our 4th year into this, and she says, you know what? When you first started all this systemizing, I really wasn't on board.
Yeah.
She said, but I'm gonna tell you something. In all honesty, I see these systems working, and I'll tell you how I see it. Because there's just more peace around here. There's just a calmness about everything.
Yeah.
Nobody's rushing around, like they're frantic. It's all just
yeah.
Things are just rolling. And nobody's having to force it. Nobody's having to push the wheel of operations to keep it going. It just happens.
So we touched on sort of the frustrations that business owners have that lead them to want to embark on systemization. And when we talked in the past, Philip, you talked about the fact that as part of your consultancy, sort of the first touch point that you have with a new company is they fill in a bit of a survey, do they? And they tell you what their frustrations are, their top 5, 10 frustrations or whatever, and they're always the same ones, aren't they? Is that right? Do you want to just explain that a little bit in more detail for us?
Well, the top 3 in the printing business is errors and mistakes in the workflow. And that causes all of the chaos and the stress and the bickering and late deliveries on other jobs, because they have to, especially if there's an error, they have to put it back into progress. And now it's an emergency. It's a rush job. So that's always a big problem with printing companies. And then, like I was talking before, the inter-office miscommunications, going back and forth between employees and then back and forth between the departments. And the number 3, because they don't realize, it's really, they'll say, we have a lack of written processes. We don't have an operations manual, not a clearly written one, a comprehensive operations manual. So that's their 3rd one. But the first one is stopping errors, because that's where printers lose a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I think the key takeaways here from the session is that having a system will help you to take a step back from working in the business and give you time to work on the business instead, so that you can create what Philip calls a symphony of order. Such a great phrase, Philip, so that you can scale up your business and increase its value. But it's not just about that. There's loads of benefits for employees too. It makes their life easier, empowers them, and it creates a culture of peace. So that's it for now. Join me in the next episode when we'll be looking at the 3 key systems that will fix most of your problems and bottlenecks. Thank you to my guests today, Ross and Philip, and thank you for watching. Take care. Hi, and welcome to today's shameless plug, which is for our brand new ebook, An Introduction to Systematization for Printers and Converters. It's got chapters on how systematization will change your business, how to work on your business and not just in it, the continuous improvement of your system and how to stop system busters, and how to digitize your systems using software technology. To get your hands on a copy, just head to thorsten.com/systemize.